Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we got some breaking news that literally just came out like an hour ago.
Hey guys, yeah, this is fresh.
Alright, so President Trump just signed an executive order about prescription drug prices, and the headline is pretty wild. He's calling it the largest drop in prescription drug prices in the history of the United States.
Big claim.
Huge claim. But here's the thing, when I actually read what he signed, there might be something real here.
Okay, what's the deal?
So basically, 17 of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies, we're talking Pfizer, Moderna, Merck, all the big ones, just agreed to sell their drugs to American patients at the lowest prices anywhere in the world.
Wait, lowest prices? Like, lower than Canada?
Lower than Canada, lower than Europe, lower than everywhere.
That's actually insane.
Right? So today we're breaking down what exactly Trump signed, why these companies agreed, what drugs this affects, and most importantly, if you or someone you know pays hundreds or thousands for medications, is this actually going to help?
Let's get into it.
All right, so first off, what did he actually sign? It's an executive order for something called Most Favored Nation pricing. Most Favored Nation? What does that even mean?
Basically, it means American patients pay the same price for drugs that patients in other countries pay, specifically the lowest price anywhere.
So like, if a drug costs $100 in America, but only 20 in Canada?
Americans now pay 20.
Same as Canada. Okay, hold on. That's actually massive. Why weren't we already doing this?
So pharmaceutical companies have been charging Americans way more for decades. Same exact drug, same company, but Americans pay like 2 to 10 times more than people in Europe, Canada, Japan.
So we've just been getting ripped off this whole time?
Pretty much, yeah.
And now suddenly 17 companies just agreed to stop doing that?
Well, there's a reason they agreed. Let me explain.
Okay, so which companies are we talking about?
Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, Merck, AstraZeneca, Novartis, Roche, Sanofi, GSK, Eli Lilly, plus 7 more, 17 total.
Dude, these are massive companies.
They represent 80% of the branded drug market in America. So yeah, huge.
But why would they agree to this? They're losing money, right?
Here's the thing. They didn't really have a choice. Trump threatened them with massive tariffs if they didn't comply.
Tariffs? Like import taxes?
Yeah, 25% tariffs on all pharmaceutical imports. And most drugs are made outside the US. China, India, Europe.
Oh, so it's like comply or pay huge tariffs?
Exactly. The tariffs would have destroyed their profit margins way worse than just lowering the prices.
So they picked the lesser of two evils, basically.
Pretty much. And publicly, they're framing it as working with the administration to help patients.
But really, they just didn't want those tariffs.
Really, they just didn't want those tariffs.
Okay, give me some real examples. What drugs are we actually talking about? All right, perfect example, insulin. Right now in America, a vial of insulin costs about $300. $300? In Canada, $30. Wait, that's 10 times more? 10 times. Under this new policy, Americans pay $30, same as Canada. So someone who's paying $300 a month for insulin now pays $30. That's $2,700 saved per year.
That's insane. What else?
Cancer drugs. Keytruda, it's for cancer treatment, costs $14,000 per dose in America. $14,000 per dose? In the UK, $4,000. So that's a $10,000 difference per dose? If you need 12 doses a year, that's $120,000 saved.
These numbers are wild.
EpiPens. $600 here, $100 in Europe. Inhalers for asthma, $300 here, $50 in Australia. Blood pressure meds, cholesterol drugs, antidepressants, all way cheaper now.
This affects millions of people.
Millions.
Okay, so who does this actually help the most?
Anyone without insurance, anyone with high deductible insurance, seniors on Medicare, basically anyone paying out of pocket.
How many people is that?
27 million Americans have no health insurance at all. Another 40 million have high deductible plans where they pay full price until they hit like $5,000 to $10,000 deductibles.
So that's like 67 million people right there?
At minimum, plus millions more who have insurance but still face high copays on expensive meds.
Like my grandma pays $2,000 a month for her medications, even with Medicare.
Exactly. Medicare doesn't cover everything. There are gaps, donut holes, copays. This closes those gaps for branded drugs.
So her costs would actually drop?
Probably, yeah. Probably down to like $400 to $600 a month instead of $2,000. That's $16,000 saved per year for one person. Now multiply that across millions of seniors. That's actually life-changing money.
All right, but there have to be critics, though. What are people saying against this?
3 main criticisms. First one, pharmaceutical companies say this will reduce innovation.
Is that true, though?
Maybe partially. Drug companies do spend money on research and development, but they also spend billions on marketing, executive salaries, stock buybacks.
So critics say they can afford both? Lower prices and research?
Exactly.
What's the second criticism?
Some economists worry this could create drug shortages. If companies make less profit in America, they might sell more drugs to other countries instead.
So we might not even get the drugs?
It's possible, but the executive order has penalties for companies that don't supply enough to America.
And number 3?
Some Democrats say this doesn't go far enough. They wanted Medicare to negotiate all drug prices, not just match international ones. And they wanted generics included, not just branded drugs.
So the criticisms are might hurt innovation, might cause shortages, or doesn't go far enough?
Those are the main ones. Whether they're actually valid, we'll see over the next year or two.
Okay, when does this actually start? Can people get cheaper drugs like tomorrow?
Phased rollout. First drugs affected starting next month.
Next month?
Yeah, it's fast. The 10 most commonly prescribed expensive drugs drop first. Insulin, certain cancer treatments, blood thinners, cholesterol meds.
And then what?
6 months from now, all branded drugs from those 17 companies. Thousands of medications.
How do people actually get these lower prices?
Pharmacies automatically adjust. CVS, Walgreens, all the major chains. You don't need to do anything special. Just present your prescription and the new price applies.
What if you have insurance, though?
Your insurance still works, but your copay will probably be lower because the base price is lower.
Like if the copay is 20% of the drug cost?
Exactly. Drug costs $1,000, you pay $200 copay. Drug now costs $200, you pay $40 copay.
That's a huge difference.
Very significant for people with percentage-based copays.
Now, this has to be a huge political win for Trump, right?
Potentially massive. Prescription drug prices are like a top 3 issue for voters, especially seniors who vote in huge numbers.
And we're talking about actual money in people's pockets.
Thousands of dollars per year for millions of families. That's rent money, food money, savings.
Can Democrats or courts block this?
There will probably be legal challenges. Some Democrats oppose it on procedural grounds. Some pharma companies might sue.
Will those challenges actually work, though?
Hard to say, but this is popular with voters across party lines. Even Democrats who criticize how it was done agree with the goal.
So it might survive because nobody wants to be the person blocking cheaper medications?
Exactly. That's political suicide.
All right, so what should people actually do right now? If you take expensive medications, talk to your doctor or pharmacist about when your specific drugs will be affected. Should people check if their meds are from one of those 17 companies?
Yeah, check the list. Pfizer, Merck, any of those 17, it'll be affected within 6 months.
Should people change their insurance plans or anything?
Maybe. If you've been avoiding insurance because of high costs, this might make it more affordable since base prices are lower. What about people who've been, rationing their medication because they can't afford it? This is huge. Millions of Americans ration insulin, skip cancer treatments, don't fill prescriptions. If that's you, talk to your doctor now about resuming proper treatment once prices drop.
Because people's health gets better when they can actually afford their meds?
Obviously, that's literally the whole point.
All right, so here's where we are. Trump signed an order forcing 17 pharma companies to sell drugs at the lowest international prices, potentially saving Americans hundreds of billions collectively per year. Starting next month with the most common expensive drugs, fully rolled out in 6 months. Critics worry about innovation and shortages. Supporters say it's long overdue and will save lives. Bottom line, millions of Americans will pay less for medications they literally need to survive.
That's the reality. So what do you guys think? Is this the biggest healthcare win in decades? Or are the critics right to worry? Drop your thoughts in the comments, especially if you take expensive medications. Is this actually going to help you? And make sure you're subscribed because we're going to be tracking this as it rolls out. We'll see if the price drops actually happen, if there are shortages, if this gets challenged in court. This could legitimately be one of the biggest healthcare changes in years. Or it could hit obstacles we haven't seen yet. Either way, definitely worth paying attention to. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.